Struggling with IELTS terms like cohesion or lexical resource? Welcome to The Explainer by IELTS Guide Phil on YouTube.
So you hear a term like lexical resource and you think, what on earth is that? Well, if it sounds like a foreign language, I promise you are not alone. But here's the secret. This isn't just fancy talk for examiners. Nope. Understanding this stuff is your key to a higher score. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Break it all down so you can turn this confusion into confidence.
So here's our game plan. We're going to cackle this in 5 simple parts. First, we'll get a handle on your band score. Then, we'll decode the 4 assessment criteria, what the examiners really want. After that, we'll sharpen our skills for listening and reading, figure out those tricky question types, and finally, wrap up with some essential knowledge for test day. Ready? Let's do this.
All right, part 1. Let's start at the finish line, shall we? Your band score. This is the number you're working towards, right? It's the official stamp of your English proficiency, and understanding it is step 1.
So where does this number even come from? It's not magic. It's actually just an average of how you do in the 4 parts of the test. Listening, reading, writing, and speaking. They add them up, find the average, and that's why you get these scores like a 6.5 or a 7.0. It's all about those whole and half bands.
And what's the top of the mountain? That would be a band 9, a perfect 9.0. That means you're an expert user. Basically, you have a complete, fluent, and totally natural command of English. It's the absolute highest you can go.
Now here's something really cool. This whole scoring scale, it's not some big secret. IELTS actually publishes everything in what they call the Band Descriptors. This is huge for you. It means you can literally look up what separates a Band 7 from a Band 8. You get to see the exact checklist the examiner is using. How powerful is that?
Okay, so knowing the scores is one thing, but how do you get the score you want? Well, that brings us to the rules of the game. We're talking about the 4 assessment criteria, especially for writing and speaking. And trust me, you have to know these rules to win. So let's put these side by side. See how there's some overlap? Lexical resource and grammatical range and accuracy? Boom, they're in both. But you've got to spot the differences. For writing, it's all about task achievement. Did you actually answer the question they asked? For speaking, though, they're looking at your fluency and your pronunciation. Totally different focus. Okay, let's zoom in on lexical resource. This one's a biggie because it's in both writing and speaking. Now, a lot of people think this just means using big, fancy words. Nope. It's not about the size of the word, it's about the fit. Think of it like a puzzle piece. You need the right word that fits perfectly. And are you using words that naturally go together? Collocations? That's the stuff that really impresses the examiner.
All right, next up, coherence and cohesion. What does that even mean? Honestly, just think of it as the flow. Is your writing or speaking easy to follow, like a smooth river, or is it choppy and confusing? You want to use those little signpost words, like however, therefore, in addition, to guide your reader or listener along. When you get this right, your ideas are just effortless to understand.
Okay, let's switch gears. We've talked about how you're scored. Now let's talk about the game plan for listening and reading. Because here's the thing. These sections are less about your deep love of English literature and more about being a detective. Can you find the right information fast when the clock is ticking?
To be a good detective in the reading test, you need 3 tools in your toolkit. Tool number 1 is skimming. That's when you read super fast just to get the general vibe of the text. Tool 2 is scanning. You're not reading, you're just hunting for a specific word, a name, a date. And tool 3 is detailed reading. That's when you slow down and read carefully to make sure you've got the answer right. Learning to switch between these 3, that's the secret sauce for time management.
Hey, a quick but super important heads up. You have to know which test you're taking, paper or computer. Why? Because on the paper test, you get a precious 10 extra minutes at the end of the listening section to transfer your answers. On the computer test, you get 0, nada. You type as you go. So it's a totally different strategy. Oh, and a bonus for the computer test, you get your results way faster, usually in just 3 to 5 days. All right, let's move on and talk about the real tricksters of the IELTS. We're going to decode some of the toughest question types out there. The ones that seem designed to make you stumble. Well, guess what? Just understanding how they're built is half the battle won.
The classic. True, false, not given versus yes, no, not given. They look the same, but they are not. Here's the difference, and you got to burn this into your brain. True, false, not given is about facts. Is the information in the text yes or no? Yes, no, not given is about opinion. What does the writer think? It's a small change in words, but it's a massive change in what you're looking for.
And speaking of traps, let me introduce you to the distractor. This sneaky little thing shows up in multiple choice questions. It's the answer choice that waves at you and says, "Hey, pick me. I have the same words from the text." But it's a trick. The words are there, yeah, but the meaning is twisted. Your job is to ignore the shiny keywords and check if the entire meaning matches. Don't fall for it.
Okay, time for a golden rule of IELTS. You ready? The test will almost never use the same words in the question as it does in the text. I'll say it again. They will almost never use the same words. Instead, they paraphrase, they rephrase, they use synonyms. So your vocabulary and your ability to spot these parallel expressions, that isn't just a skill, it's the skill for reading and listening.
All right, we are in the home stretch now. For our final part, let's quickly cover some essential test day knowledge. This is your final checklist. We're talking about the simple, logistical stuff that can save you from unnecessary stress and lost points.
Let's talk about the speaking test, because knowing what's coming is the best way to beat the nerves. It's a super clear 3-part structure, no surprises. Part 1 is just a little chat, an interview. Part 2 is the famous cue card, where you get a minute to prep and 2 minutes to talk. And Part 3 is a broader discussion based on your Part 2 topic. See? Simple, predictable, you got this.
And please, 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 follow the simple rules. It sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised. If the instructions say no more than 2 words and you write 3, that answer is wrong, period. You get 0 points for it. Same with the writing. If you write less than 150 words for task 1 or 250 for task 2, you get penalized for being underlength. These are just free points you're giving away if you don't pay attention.
So after all this, what's the big takeaway? If you remember only one thing, make it this piece of advice from IELTS guide Phil himself. Focus on building real, genuine language skills. Don't waste your time memorizing templates. The examiners can spot them a mile away. The test is designed to measure how well you can actually communicate. So work on that, your vocabulary, your fluency, your confidence. That's the real path to a high score.
Hey, if this helps clear things up for you, the learning doesn't have to stop here. For a deeper dive, go read the full blog post over at IELTSguidePhil.com. And, of course, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel for more explainers and deep dive episodes just like this one. Oh, and for daily tips and support, join the amazing Facebook community. All the links for everything are right there in the description below.
And hey, if you're thinking, okay, I'm ready to get serious and really crush this test, then you might be ready for the next step. IELTS Guide Phil offers an amazing online masterclass that takes you through everything. If you want to find out more and sign up, just drop a comment below saying you're interested. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and good luck with your studies.